Good day, Ma'am. I am Gretchen Asusana Balignot, presenting our quantitative research together with my group mates. But first, let me introduce to you, Ma'am, my group mates. Liza May Galas, Michelle Tabon, Midani Tulo, and Krishagay Alpad. The title of our research is The Number of Young Adults Engage Cigarette Smoking in Barangay Pungapong, San Pablo, Zamboanga del Sur. So, introduction. Smoking cigarettes has become a usual thing in our culture nowadays. We can see them on street, actors smoke in films, and there are also book characters who smoke. We have relatives or friends who smoke. Cigarettes is a tobacco product that is made of finely cut, curved tobacco leaves wrapped in thin paper. It may also have other ingredients, including substance to add flavors. It contains nicotine, and smoking is the single most preventable risk factor for fatal illness. So indeed, cigarette smoking leads to more deaths than all other drugs, car accidents, suicides, and fires combined. So cigarettes use is the leading cause of preventable disease, disability, and death. So, according to Smoking and Adolescents Health, PMC NCBI by SPAR 2011 that 90% of the people who smoke for the first time are adolescents younger than 18, and the rate of smoking in adolescents rising steadily. In general, adolescents start smoking out of curiosity, and many become habitual smokers during this period. Factors related to habitual smoking include the perception of cigarettes, a combined use of alcohol and drugs, interfamilial age, and smoking by friends and parents. So in particular, along with alcohol, smoking is known to be a gateway to other types of drug abuse. For this reason, it is crucial to prevent early smoking. In this study, we want to decrease the number of young adults engaged in cigarette smoking by the help of parental guidance.
So this is the objectives of the study. The researchers aims to prevent the use of tobacco among young people and adults. So there's specific objectives. Researchers aims to first is identify measure of engaged tobacco smoking. Second is provide insight for public awareness on the consequences of tobacco use. Last is determine the number of young adults engaged in cigarette smoking. So there's research instruments. The research utilized quantitative research methodology. The instruments used to collect the data were questionnaires, interview, and observation. A set of questionnaires containing 20 questions were given.
Data gathering procedure. The researcher will provide a questionnaire to young adults who will officially their barangay of their involvement of this study. The handling of questionnaire will be done personally by the researcher and facilitated by the retrieval of the responses. This procedure also enables the researcher to conduct assessment of data. The gathered data will be tabulated and processed manually with the aid of computer to determine the interpretation of the result. Tables were made to organize, summarize, and analyze the data gathered for easy determination of its differences of each other. Using 1 to 5 range, this responses, range, and description. Responses 1 and 1.79 strongly disagree. Responses 2 1.80 and 2.59 agree. 3 2.60 and 3.39 sometimes. 4 3.40 and 4.19 disagree. 5 4.20 and 5.30 10. Strongly disagree.
So this is the table of the survey. So we have the question number 1. I am a former smoker and no longer smoke cigarettes. The responses of strongly disagree is 1. The responses of disagree is 2. The responses of sometimes is 9. Then the responses of agree is 5. Then the responses of strongly agree is 3. So that the TWP is 20 because we have all 20 respondents. Then the weighted mean is 2.65 and the description is sometimes. Sometimes because it is belong to the range of 2.60 to 3.39, so that is sometimes the description. Question number 2. So I smoke less than half pack a day. So the responses of 5 is 0. The responses of 4, 2. The responses of 3 is 8. The responses of 2 is 10. The responses of 1 is 0. So the TWP is 20 also. Then is 2.60. Then the description is sometimes. The number 3 is I smoke more than a pack. So there's the strongly disagree is 3. Then the sometimes is 8. And no, the disagree is 8. Then the sometimes is 5. Then the 2 is 11. Then 1 is 1. Then the TWP is 20. And then the weighted mean is 3.30 and the description is sometimes. The number 4, I smoke occasionally, such as when I am socializing. So the responses of 5 is 0. The responses of 4 is 3. The responses of 3 is 5. The responses of 2 is responses of 1 is 1. So the TWP is 20 also because we have all 20 respondent. And then the weighted mean is 2.50 and the description is agree. So we have number 5. Are you in a favor of banning smoking cigarettes in public places? Then the responses of 5 is 2. The responses of 4 is 10. The responses of 3 is 1. The responses of 2 is 2. The responses of 1 is 5. So the TWP is 20. Then the weighted mean is 2.40. Then the description is sometimes. Then the question number 6 is, are you in favor of increasing the prices of cigarettes in public places? So the responses of 5 is 1. The responses of 4 is 12. The responses of 3 is 1. The responses of 2 is 6. And the respondent of 1 is 0. So the TWP is 20. And then the weighted mean is 3.40. And the description is disagree. Question number 7 is, I smoke much more when I am alone. So the responses of 5 is 0. The responses of 4 is 2. The responses of 3 is 11. The responses of 2 is 7. The responses of 1 is 0. Then the TWP is 20. And then the weighted mean is 2.75. The description is sometimes. Then the question number 8 is, I smoke much more. So the responses of 5 is 0. Is 3. The responses of 3 is 5. The responses of 2 is 9. The responses of 1 is 3. Then the TWP is 20. And the weighted mean is 2. Description is agree. Then the question number 9 is, I smoke less when I am in public. So the responses of 5 is 1. The responses of 4 is 0. The responses of 3 is 8. The responses of 2, 8. The responses of 1, 3. Then the TWP is 20 also. And the weighted mean is 2.40. And the description is agree. So the question number 10. Smoking cigarettes in pleasant and relaxing. So the responses of 5 is 0. The responses of 4 is, the responses of 3 is 1. The responses of 2 is 8. The responses of 1 is 9. The TWP is 20, 20 also. So we need to total all the responses. So the result of responses 5 strongly disagree is 14. The result of 4, the disagree is 75. The result of 3 sometimes 132. The result of agree is 128, and the result of strongly agree is 51. And the total of TWP is 400, and the weighted mean is 2.68, and the description is belong to sometimes. So this is all about the table of the survey. Thank you.
In our survey, there are 20 responses. In this graph, shows that the female has 1 young adult who engage cigarette smoking, that is equivalent of 5%. And the bisexual also has 1 young adult, equivalent of 5%, while the male has the highest rate, it is equivalent of 90%, which is 18 male young adults engage cigarette smoking in Barangay Pugapong. Conclusion. This study intends to find out the number of young adults engaged cigarette smoking in Barangay Pugapong, San Pablo, Zamboanga del Sur. The highest number of young adults who engage cigarette smoking are the male.